Good morning, it's Daniel.
And Jenny.
And Talia.
And we are back at Universal Studios Hollywood to see how things are and have a fun day at the park.
Other than Super Nintendo World, we haven't really explored this park much, so we're going to check out all the other attractions that we can and see what Universal Studios Hollywood has to offer.
Right now it's about 8:45 in the morning. We just got into the park. We found a quiet place out of the hustle and bustle to sit for a second, and it is quite busy. Security took a while, and there's already a 2-hour wait for the Super Nintendo World ride, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. So I think we're going to head to some of the short lines that the app says. So I think we're going to go into Harry Potter World and go on their little roller coaster called Flight of the Hippogriff.
Let's go.
So here we go, walking down the main path now, and as you can see, it is very busy, and I think everyone is heading to the same place, to Super Nintendo World. Off on the left, this area is completely closed off there in the center. I don't remember entirely what they had, but during the Christmas season, I know that's where you meet with the Grinch, and they have a lot of their Grinchmas stuff there. One of the things that I'm not a big fan of with Universal Studios is that they closed several of their shows the beginning of this year, and so that means that really all there is the Waterworld show and then rides. So be prepared for long waits because there isn't anything else really to absorb the crowds. Here we go, entering Hogsmeade. This is pretty much our first time coming in here. We did visit during the Taste of Universal during the closures, and nothing was really open, so it's nice to see this area as a theme park for the first time. The theming in this area is really nice, and other than there being snow on the roofs but it being kind of warm out, it's really cool and really well done. And that is Hogwarts Castle, which has the main ride, main attraction of this land, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It actually lists a 15-minute wait right now. That's pretty short. So, seems like it's a good place to come first if you wish to take advantage of shorter lines. And here we go for Flight of the Hippogriff. Has a 5-minute wait. If you'd like to test out the seat before getting on the ride, you can sit in this one that's just to the left of the ride's entrance and make sure that it fits, pull down the lap bar, and make sure it's nice and snug and you won't have any issues when you get onto the ride. It's kind of hard to see through some of the fences they have around here, but there is some pretty cool theming to the land. Oh, and I missed something. So, fans of the Harry Potter franchise will certainly recognize that. It's Hagrid's motorbike. And there's Hagrid's house. And as you can see, the queue can get quite long when needed, but fortunately, our wait won't be quite that long. The height limit for this ride is 39 inches. And that's one of the lower height limits for this park. Most of the rides that have a height limit are 48 inches or taller. We made it on the ride. They told us we can't film, so we'll see you when we get off.
Flight of the Hippogriff is a roller coaster ride. It's not very intense. It's very similar to Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster at Toontown in Disneyland. So keep that in mind. This is a good one for younger kids and people who are looking for more mild thrills.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's not a terribly intense roller coaster. It's good for everyone and a good start to our day.
But we do want to give you a heads up that Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is a extremely intense ride, and it does cause a lot of motion sickness for most people, myself included. I found out that the hard way. So keep that in mind if you are planning on checking that one out.
What did you think of Flight of the Hippogriff?
It was fun because it was really like Gadget's Coaster.
If you don't want to wait at Ollivanders to get your wand, they do have a cart here. This is right by the exit to the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride and just to the left of the Flight of the Hippogriff entrance. So they have all sorts of wands back there, and then you can kind of try them out here, and it lists all the different wands, and you can get a feel for them.
So just a fun little detail here in Hogsmeade, in the women's restroom, you can actually hear Moaning Myrtle talking to you.
We we are now leaving Hogsmeade and we are heading to the tram tour. We think we're going to stop by the Simpsons ride and see if that has a short line or short enough line, but the app said 55 minutes, which is a little longer than we're willing to wait right now. I've never actually been on the Simpsons ride, so I remember it as the Back to the Future ride, which I'm still really sad that they have taken out, because that is my favorite movie series of all time. So here we are walking through the Simpsons land. There's the ride over there. There's different restaurants on either side. They even have some carnival games up near the ride's entrance, which is themed to Krusty Land. And of course, there is the Quickie Mart, if you can see it through the very bright sun and reflection and glare. Apparently, we just missed it because I was asking a question, but the nuclear power plant just had a little issue there. But I think we're safe. I think we're okay. The theming of the land here is really cool. If you're a Simpsons fan and you haven't been here, you will love what everything looks like and you will love the theming. We are making our way now to the Studio Tram Tour. We're entering the queue now, and one thing we do want to point out is that they do offer the tour in Spanish several times a day. Today is a weekend, so I don't know if this is every day or just on weekends, but if that's something that interests you, that is an option. One important thing to note is that the studio tour is about an hour long, and there are no restrooms available while you're sitting on the tram, so you want to make sure you use the restroom before you get in the line. There is a restroom located at the top of the escalators near the Simpsons ride, and another one down at the bottom of the escalators near where you enter the queue for the studio tour itself. Here comes our tram. We have made it on to the tram tour, and we're excited to check it out. We have not been on this I haven't been on this in forever, and Talia's never been on this before. Is there anything you're excited for, Talia?
I'm excited for the King Kong.
Yeah, I've never seen the 3D version, and they give everyone 3D glasses as we were waiting in the line. So far, the tour is a big advertisement for NBC Universal TV shows and movies.
Monday nights at 10 on NBC, is on the Peacock the following Tuesday.
The tram tour was a lot of fun. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the Fast and Furious part.
I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
Well, it was fun going through the whole tour. There were a whole bunch of different things that you saw, a few different sort of sound stages that you entered that had almost like mini rides within the tram tour. So it was really cool to go and see my favorite Hill Valley from Back to the Future and seeing the iconic courthouse. We got to see the, I guess relatively new, but certainly new to us, King Kong 360 3D soundstage tour. It was really cool, but I do miss the old one that had more animatronics. I thought that was a little more classic and iconic, but this one was still very cool in its own way.
We also really enjoyed the earthquake scene, which is iconic and I think has been here for a long time. I remember going on that as a kid too. It was neat to see all the different special effects. There was fire, there was water, there was a lot of shaking because it's an earthquake. And just a really cool experience, and nice to see that they still have some of the classics here.
We got to go through the set of Jaws and almost got attacked by a shark.
Oh, there's the shark right there.
Wow!
And it was really fun. As we went through the sets, they told us different films and movies that were shot there, and sometimes they even shared little tidbits. For example, that the Jaws mechanical shark in the movies had a lot of issues and they had trouble getting it to work most of the time on the set.
We got to see a rainstorm set where they splashed everything with water. We got to go through some Jurassic Park scenes. We got to go through the War of the Worlds scene, which was really cool seeing how giant that set was.
And one of the newest additions to the tram tour is the set of the new film Nope by Jordan Peele, and that is the actual set that they filmed the movie on. So that was really cool to see. Although it is a little bit creepy, it is a horror film.
And of course we got to see the Fast and the Furious set, which was another 3D type show, just like the King Kong 360. And that was fun, though I think they went a little all in on the 3D stuff for this particular tour.
It did feel a lot like a video game sequence, that part. It didn't feel quite as realistic as some of the others. And the other big surprise is that it felt like almost every set that you went through that had anything moving did spray water at some point. So just be cautious if you are sitting on the edge.
Next up, I think we're going to go get something to eat and then maybe see if we can head into Super Nintendo World a little bit later. Though I'm not sure we're going to go on the ride because the line time still shows that it's a couple hours long, and that's a bit more than we really want to wait for it. We're making our way down to the lower lot to grab something to eat. The line for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is a little tough to see, but it is taking up all of that outside space, packed, really crowded, really full. So yeah, it looks like that's probably not going to be in the cards for us today. We just picked up food from Jurassic Cafe, which is right next to the Jurassic Park The Ride entrance. Jenny got their Isla chicken sandwich, I got their Isla burger, and Talia got the pulled pork slider, which comes with fries and fruit. Our two sandwiches come with fries.
So I got a chicken sandwich. It has a coleslaw, some tomato. It has a sauce on it, but I can't really taste the sauce at all. And it's a fried chicken sandwich. It's pretty good. Average, I'd say. Not the greatest, but definitely not the worst. These fries are really good, though. They're like extra crispy, and they have some nice seasoning on them.
It's not the best, and I don't really like it. I don't really like the bread, but I like the fries.
I'm with Talia. The pulled pork isn't great. It's not smoky or barbecue-y, so it doesn't have that sort of smoky flavor that you'd expect in a traditional pulled pork, like a barbecue pulled pork. It's not bad, it's just not what I was expecting it to be either. My burger's pretty good. It's just your average theme park burger with a nice cheese sauce on it, so nothing to write home about, but I enjoy it, and it's a pretty safe choice here from the restaurant. And like Jenny said, the fries are really good, nice and crispy and flavorful. We just finished lunch and we secured a reservation a little bit earlier to get into Super Nintendo World. We're going to head into the land in just a second and kind of explore. We don't think we're going to go on the ride or do much of the real true interactive challenges because we think those are going to have long lines. But we're just going to enjoy the ambiance and maybe punch some power-up blocks.
And if you're looking for an in-depth walkthrough of the entire Super Nintendo World land and the attraction itself, we have videos for those, so check out the links below or up in the corner.
For those of you who aren't aware, if you're here first thing in the morning, like right when they open, you can usually get into Super Nintendo World right away. But once it gets too full, they start using a virtual queue return system, so you need to download the Universal Studios Hollywood app in order to sign up for that, and then you pick a specific time that you want to enter the land. You can also pay extra, and the cost varies by day, and you get to enter the land 1 hour before the park opens, and that also comes with an express pass for the studio tour. We're going to go ahead and take our photo now, something that we haven't done at the entrance to the land, because the other times we've come, we've tried to get into the land and get in line for the ride as quickly as possible. Since that's not something that's on our to-do list for today, we have a little more time to explore and roam and relax. Here we go, entering the world. This never gets old. Here's one of the secret blocks. So just so you can understand how crowded it is, we have not yet done this Piranha Plant special key thing and it is very long. The line goes inside and all over the place, so it's probably at least a 30-minute wait to do that. The Goomba one is actually not that long over there, so maybe we'll go do that one. There are characters that meet, so Princess Peach meets over here, and Mario and Luigi meet in the center. They do have times they're scheduled to visit, but they're usually only out for half an hour at a time, and then they go take breaks. So the lines fill up very quickly. Make sure that you devote plenty of time to waiting for this if it's something that's on your must-do list. And I didn't realize this, but she actually talks. This is new, at least new to us. They now have a snack and drink cart here in the land that you can buy drinks and snacks from. And now we're going to do Thwomp Panel Panic. There are places to tap your power-up band everywhere, like this one here that's inside the line for Thwomp Panel Panic. Each time you do it, it gets a little bit harder. And Talia and I were doing it together, and we could not win Thwomp Panel Panic. We came so close. I think there was even one point where we had one blue block left, and we waited like a half second too long to tap it, to turn it to yellow, and we just missed out on winning that one. But it was still a lot of fun. Another highlight of the land is the Toadstool Cafe with Mario-themed menu items. However, you do need to book a reservation through the app in order to get it. As you can see, they are all sold out for the day. But there is a QR code that you can scan at the entrance to get yourself on the wait list, which does occasionally have times open up throughout the day.
Those are pigments, and they're taking that coin.
The wait time for the ride right now is 120 minutes, which is certainly longer than we're willing to spend in it, but there is a single rider line that you can go to. Sometimes that can be just as long, but just ask a friendly team member at the entrance to the ride if you'd like to do that, and maybe shave some time off of your wait. Inside of the souvenir shop, they have all sorts of shirts and different souvenirs. Lots of merchandise for fans of all characters of the Mario franchise.
Inside the 1-Up Factory, which is the main souvenir shop in Super Nintendo World, you can get a small band for free that attaches to your power-up band, and it will help prevent it from falling off. They do fall off quite easily.
We are all done in Super Nintendo World and are heading back to the park, where I think we're going to wrap up for the day. If you are a pass holder, they often have special incentives or freebies for you. Like, for example, today from the Studio Store, you can pick up a special pass holder Super Nintendo World magnet, which is really cool and a nice little gesture for the pass holders. I'd say overall we had a good time, but it was very crowded.
Overall, you hear a lot of people say that Disney is really crowded, but we find that Universal feels much more crowded just because it's a smaller park and there are a lot less attractions. So there just seems to be larger crowds of people and longer lines. But we still enjoyed ourselves today.
I would definitely say if you're planning on visiting, try to avoid weekends. And if you are going to come on a weekend, make sure you either get here first thing, or I've been told that as you get here later in the day, it starts to thin out around dinner time. So that might be a better option versus coming here in the middle of the day, because right now, nothing has a short wait. Everything is really long.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. We really appreciate it.
Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep bringing you more magical content.
And we hope we put you in a magical mood.